Ever wondered how safe your web applications are from cyber threats? In the vast digital universe, the security of web applications is paramount. The stakes are high: data breaches, financial loss, and a tarnished reputation. But what if I told you that there's a way to shield your applications from these lurking dangers? Yes, it's about understanding and implementing web application security. In this video, you will learn how to secure your web applications effectively. So what exactly is web application security? Well, in its simplest form, web application security is a branch of information security that deals with security specifically pertaining to websites, web applications, and web services. It's a critical component in the world of cybersecurity, designed to protect web applications from threats that can compromise security, functionality, and data integrity. In today's digital age, web application security has taken on an even greater importance. As we increasingly live our lives online, from shopping to banking, socializing to working, the number of web applications we interact with on a daily basis has skyrocketed. Each of these applications presents a potential point of vulnerability that cybercriminals can exploit. But why is this important? Well, consider this. A poorly secured web application can lead to a variety of devastating consequences. At a personal level, it can lead to identity theft, financial loss, and even reputational damage. For businesses, the stakes are even higher. A single security breach can result in the loss of sensitive customer data, financial penalties, loss of trust, and in some cases, can even lead to the business's downfall. However, it's not all doom and gloom. With the right knowledge and tools, we can protect our web applications and mitigate these risks. Web application security involves a number of practices and techniques, from input validation and session management to error handling and security configuration. It's about building security into the fabric of your web applications and maintaining a proactive approach to security. So, as we navigate through the vast landscape of the internet, it's essential to understand the importance of web application security. It's not just about protecting data, but also about ensuring the functionality and availability of the web applications we depend on every day. Now, with a clear understanding of web application security, it's time to dig into how to secure your web applications. The first step to secure any web application is identifying vulnerabilities. Imagine your web application as a fortress. To ensure its security, you'd want to know where the weak points are, right? Where the enemy could potentially breach. This is essentially what vulnerability identification is all about. It's about knowing your weak points so you can strengthen them. So how do we identify vulnerabilities in a web application? The answer is through a process known as vulnerability assessment. This involves using automated tools and manual techniques to detect security issues. Automated tools can scan the code to find common vulnerabilities, while manual techniques involve a more in-depth analysis of the application's functionality. Let's delve a bit deeper and talk about different types of vulnerabilities that can exist. Firstly, we have injection flaws. These occur when an attacker can send malicious data to the application, tricking it into executing unintended commands. Next up, we have broken authentication. This happens when session management is poorly implemented, enabling an attacker to compromise passwords or keys. Another common vulnerability is cross-site scripting, or XSS. This allows an attacker to inject malicious scripts into web pages viewed by other users. Then we have insecure direct object references, or IDORs, where an attacker can manipulate references to gain unauthorized access to data. In addition to these, there are several other types of vulnerabilities like security misconfigurations, sensitive data exposure, and more. Each vulnerability poses a unique threat and needs a specific strategy for mitigation. Fortunately, there are several tools available to help us detect these vulnerabilities. Tools like OWASP, ZAP, Nessus, and Wireshark, to name a few. These tools can automate the process of identifying vulnerabilities, making the task more manageable and efficient. However, remember, no tool is perfect. Each has its strengths and weaknesses. Therefore, it's always a good practice to use a combination of multiple tools and manual techniques to ensure a comprehensive vulnerability assessment. Once vulnerabilities are identified, the next step is to fix them. But that's a topic for our next scene. So, stay tuned. Identifying vulnerabilities isn't enough. Fixing them is equally important. Let's dive into the meat of the matter, fixing the vulnerabilities we've identified. This is a crucial stage in the process of enhancing web application security. Firstly, we need to understand that vulnerabilities are essentially weaknesses. They are the chinks in our armor, the spots where our defenses are not as strong as they should be. So, fixing them involves strengthening these weak points. Now, how do we do that? There are various methods, but one of the most effective is through patching. Patching is essentially applying a piece of software designed to update, fix, or improve a computer program. This includes fixing security vulnerabilities and other bugs, and improving the usability or performance. Think of it like applying a bandage to a wound. The patch covers the vulnerability and prevents it from being exploited. But what if the vulnerability is not something that can be patched? In that case, we might need to take more drastic measures. This could involve rewriting parts of the application code or even changing certain aspects of the system architecture. It's like performing surgery to remove a health issue rather than just treating the symptoms. Now remember that fixing vulnerabilities is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process. This is because new vulnerabilities can be discovered at any time. Hence, the system needs to be constantly updated and patched to deal with these new threats. Another important point to note is that not all vulnerabilities are equal. Some pose a greater risk than others. Therefore, it's important to prioritize which vulnerabilities to fix first. This is usually determined based on the potential impact of the vulnerability and the likelihood of it being exploited. Finally, it's worth noting that while fixing vulnerabilities is crucial, it's not the end of the story. After all, our goal is not just to deal with the threats we know about, but also to prevent future threats. After fixing vulnerabilities, it's time to prevent future threats. Preventing future threats is a crucial step in web application security. It's like setting up a burglar alarm for your digital house, providing an extra layer of protection against unexpected invasions. So how do we prevent future threats? Well, it starts with something as simple as regular updates. It might seem tedious, but it's a vital part of the process. Software developers are continually patching vulnerabilities and improving security features. By staying up to date, you're ensuring that your web application benefits from these enhancements. Think of it as a health checkup for your application, catching potential problems before they turn into full-blown illnesses. Next on our list is the use of firewalls and other protective measures. Firewalls act like gatekeepers, scrutinizing incoming traffic and blocking suspicious activities. They're the bouncers at the entrance of your digital club, keeping the unwanted guests out. Other protective measures include intrusion detection systems, which monitor your network for malicious activities, and data encryption, which scrambles your data into an unreadable format to prevent unauthorized access. Additionally, implementing secure coding practices can also help prevent future threats. This means writing code that is resistant to injection attacks, cross-site scripting, and other common vulnerabilities. It's like building a house with a solid foundation. It can withstand storms and earthquakes much better than a house built on shaky ground. Moreover, educating your team about the latest security threats and how to avoid them is equally important. A well-informed team can spot potential threats and respond appropriately, reducing the risk of security breaches. Finally, having a robust incident response plan in place is essential. Despite all preventative measures, breaches can still occur. An incident response plan outlines the steps to take in the event of a breach, helping to minimize damage and recover more quickly. With preventive measures in place, it's time to monitor your web application regularly. Remember, in the world of web application security, prevention is always better than cure. Regular monitoring of your web application is the final step to ensure its security. This isn't just a one-off task, but a continuous process, a vigilant watch over your digital fortress. Think of it as the night watchman of your web application, always on guard, always ready. So why is regular monitoring so important? Well, the cybersecurity landscape is ever evolving. New threats and vulnerabilities are discovered every day. Regular monitoring helps identify any unusual activity or patterns that could indicate a security breach. It's like having your own personal detective, always on the case, ensuring your app's safety. But how do you perform effective monitoring? It starts with setting up a baseline for normal activity on your web application. This could be the usual traffic patterns, the average number of users at any given time, and so forth. Any deviation from this baseline could be a sign of trouble and should be investigated promptly. Next, you'll need to set up alerts for any potential security breaches. These alerts should be immediate, giving you the chance to respond swiftly and minimize any potential damage. Remember, in the world of cybersecurity, every second counts. Then comes log analysis. This is where you scrutinize your web application's log files to detect any anomalies or suspicious activities. It's like reading the diary of your web application, giving you insights into its daily life and any potential threats it might be facing. Now, all of this may sound daunting, but thankfully, there are numerous tools available to assist with monitoring. From intrusion detection systems to security information and event management software, these tools can automate much of the monitoring process, giving you peace of mind. And there you have it. The continuous process of regular monitoring is your final line of defense in securing your web application. It's the watchful eye that never sleeps, the detective that never rests, the guardian of your digital domain. By now, you should have a good understanding of how to secure your web applications. So, let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We've undertaken a deep dive into the world of web application security, a subject of paramount importance in the digital age. We've explored the core steps in securing a web application, each one playing a crucial role in creating a robust and reliable defense system. Firstly, we delved into the process of identifying vulnerabilities. The internet is a vast and complex realm, and with its complexity comes a multitude of potential weak points. Identifying these vulnerabilities is the first step on the path to a secure web application. It's all about knowing your battleground, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, and preparing for any potential threats. Next, we tackled the task of fixing these vulnerabilities. This is where the cybersecurity experts roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty. Using a variety of tools and techniques, we explored how these vulnerabilities can be patched up, turning potential weak points into strengths. From there, we moved on to discuss the prevention of future threats. This is where proactive measures come into play. It's not enough to simply react to threats as they appear. An effective cybersecurity strategy involves thinking ahead, anticipating potential threats, and putting measures in place to mitigate them before they even have a chance to strike. Finally, we touched on the crucial role of regular monitoring. The digital landscape is ever-changing, and new threats can emerge at any time. Regular monitoring allows for continuous assessment of the security landscape, enabling quick reactions to new threats and ensuring the ongoing security of the web application. Through this journey, we've seen that securing a web application is not a one-and-done task. It's a continuous process, requiring ongoing vigilance and commitment. It's about staying ahead of the curve, anticipating threats before they occur, and continuously adapting to an ever-evolving digital landscape. In conclusion, the importance of web application security cannot be overstated. It's a critical aspect of maintaining the integrity of our digital lives, safeguarding our data, and ensuring the smooth running of our online operations. Remember, securing your web application is a continuous process. Stay vigilant, stay secure. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cybersecurity content.